We're at the 2011 Amelia Island Concours d'Elegance, and we're celebrating the legacy of the Mercedes-Benz 600. Behind me, we have three cars. We call them the Singer, the Sinner, and the Saint. Standing beside a 1972 600. This is the car that we call the Singer. And I'm also standing beside Guy Lewis, who's the owner of the 600. Guy, why do we call it the Singer?
Mike, this car was used extensively in the Northeast and the Pittsburgh area by Luciano Pavarotti when he was singing here in the United States.
So what about the car do you like especially?
Of course, the presence. I mean, it's just a quintessential 600 Mercedes. You pull up and you expect a king or a sheik or a diplomat to get out.
That's totally true. When you look at a 600, you know it's a special car. You don't even have to be a car person. It is really special in appearance. So now let's take a look at the next car, which is the Sinner. This is a 1972 600 Pullman, originally owned by Hugh Hefner. Hefner had a fleet of these cars that he used at his hotels and clubs. A Pullman is an extended wheelbase chassis 600. It was really all about what was in the back of the car. Take a look at the interior of this car. This is the height of luxury in the 1970s. Television, tape recorder, a lot of these cars had refrigerators, a lot of room in the back. Oh, the stories that this car could tell. And now for something completely different, this is the car that we call the Saint. This car was presented by Mercedes-Benz to Pope Paul VI in 1965. It is a modified Pullman, a Landaulet, so a half convertible, extended wheelbase car, but very special even in that sense because the door is completely different. It has a very large rear door to allow easy entry and exit from the car. Take a look at the crest here. That is from the Vatican. This interior was custom designed for use by the Pope. You'll notice that there's just one seat in the back of the car. Lots of room for him. A communication device on the right side of the car. This car, typically when the Pope would arrive at a function, the roof would be lowered so that he could stand up and step out of the car standing. Let's take a look at one last detail, the license plate. SCV stands for State City of the Vatican, and number 1 stands for the Pope. The Mercedes 600 was a top car for people who were at the top of their game. Now let's take a look at some of the details that made these cars so great. I'm standing beside a 1972 600 short wheelbase sedan. This is kind of the standard 600, if you will, of a very special car. This particular car launched Mercedes-Benz's first V8 engine, the legendary 6.3-liter V8. It is a really important car for the brand and really showed what the brand could do in the early 1960s. Let's look at some of the features in the car. So when the 600 was launched in 1963, this was the height of luxury for Mercedes-Benz. There are some incredible features in this car. Look at how you adjust the steering wheel. You actually look at the wheel and say, well, how does it adjust? You spin the pad on the wheel and you can move it in and out. Really quite interesting how they do that. The controls in the car are completely hydraulic. So if you want to adjust the seats on the car, there's a switch here, completely silent, no motors whatsoever. A very complex network of hydraulic controls in the car. The windows, completely silent. The car features a shifter that's very much like an American car, so a column shift automatic. The car has air conditioning, which was very atypical for a German car. The control is right here, massively oversized like many of the features on the 600. There's a thermometer in the center stack here. It also has an AM/FM shortwave radio. The radio has a Wonderbar feature that seeks out stations. Very old school, but very effective. In the center of the car, we have an 8-track tape player. A lot of people are familiar with those. You would have seen something like Tom Jones in this, a large cassette. Definitely a period piece that you don't see too much anymore. Also, we have a refrigerator in the front. If you can imagine having a fridge in the front with a bottle of champagne and 4 glasses, my, how the times changed. The horn is incredible. It tells people that you've arrived. Kind of like the Queen Mary. The 600 was often a chauffeur-driven car, so the back of the car was very important. You could operate the windows, you could move the seat back and forth, even open the sunroof, and control the radio that's in the front of the car from the rear of the car. This car also has a trunk that opens hydraulically. When it was new, this car was assigned to the German embassy in Paris. It is a completely original car, a true testament to the build quality of the car, never restored, overbuilt, wonderful.